Have you ever seen that person that it just seems like everything that they put their hands on just works? Like it turns to gold. I have been told that almost all my life, specifically though the last 15 years of my life, people always tell me how lucky I am and how blessed I am to be able to accomplish this and do that and do this. But in all actuality, yes, it's a blessing. Sure, it's luck. But really, it's because I've mastered how to manifest all the things that I desire. So today, I want to tell you how I never lose in business. I never lose in love. I never lose in partnership. I get exactly what it is that I am asking for, and I'm going to share that with you today. So stick with me. Your girl has got insights. Okay, so today it's not going to be a super duper long video. I am at the point that I can talk much longer, but I still have like this horrible cough that I'm literally fighting off right now as I am talking to you. But I want to get this insight out to you. So over the month that I have not been doing any videos, and while I was in bed with COVID, I actually signed this huge partnership deal with Tanqueray Gin, which by default gave me a partnership with Bridgeton. So for those who do not know, I'm going to give you this little story so that I can lead back to how I'm able to manifest these things. So for those who do not know, my company, LaRue 1680, technically La Cruz 1680, was put on the map because of Bridgeton. So all through 2021 was a whirlwind year for my company, which is the third company I've created. It's my third 7-figure company. And this is October will make 2 years that it will make our second anniversary. So we just hit a year in October 2021. It was a whirlwind year for us, and it was because of the show Bridgerton, and we were smart enough to focus our marketing around the show. I love the show, and so I started creating different tea blends that matched with Bridgerton. That's what put us on the map. Vogue caught on to it, and then the Today Show, and then CNN, and then all these other things. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to insert a clip here of something that happened. Let me just insert it here.
We're obsessed with Bridgerton. Well, it's the gift that keeps on giving. CNN reports that one small business owner credits Bridgerton with the runaway success of her new venture. Stephanie Sinclair started her tea company, LaRue 1680, smack in the middle of the pandemic, and just a hope for the best. And then Bridgerton happened, and Stephanie got inspired. She created a tea collection based on what a Duke and Duchess might drink, and her business took off, like 500% increase in revenue. And, we love this story. We love Bridgerton. And growing up, like, I didn't drink tea. Like, maybe I had a Snapple on occasion. That was like it, which I'm not mad at. But in adulthood, drinking tea has become such like a little like luxury for me.
It's very ritualistic.
Right? You totally feel fancy, but it's like a cent a bag. And her tea right here, look how beautiful this packaging is.
Look at this.
Yeah, so it's loose leaf, which scares me.
Oh my God, I know that really is adult.
It's totally adult.
All right.
I don't even have one of these things.
I'm rocking the Casablanca. What are you rocking?
Yeah, I'm having the Casablanca as well, and it's so delish and robust, right?
I want to describe what is happening. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm drinking a rose garden.
Yes. Oh, so floral. I don't even understand what it is.
But also acidic and beautiful, the way you'd want like a hibiscus tea.
Mine's like empty. I'm already downed it.
Oh my gosh, this is going in the little yellow book. This is the best tea ever.
Stephanie, congratulations.
Oh, Stephanie Sinclair, good for you. Wow. Okay, I'm not kidding. Wait until you try this. It's like, it's a whole experience. It's not just a tea. It's not just for tea. Okay, and now.
Okay, so I posted this on Instagram maybe a week or two ago, and people were like, oh my God, how did you pull this off? How did you pull this off? How did you pull this off? Well, here's the reality. I knew when I created this particular company, which is my third company, that I wanted to create something that was a products-based company, but I wanted it to be a real company. What I mean by real company is, yes, I've created multiple millions a year in my coaching company, but I wanted to create something that was scalable and sellable. I didn't necessarily know how. I did not know how I was going to get the national attention that we've got. I just knew that I wanted it. And so what people tend to do when they want to create something, they say, oh, I don't know how to do it, so it's not possible. But that's not what I chose to do. I chose to say, I don't know how to do it, so let me be it. So what that means is when I decided to create this company, October and November was pretty slow, but I hadn't really fully tapped in. I wanted to get the flow of really just running a products-based company, something that I had not done. And so I literally spent 2 months really getting clear on what I wanted my company to be. And then in December, I started literally every day, showing up every day like a founder, having business meetings with my one assistant. We started having weekly meetings. I started literally showing up like a founder, doing the things that founders do, even though I didn't actually know how I was going to pull everything off. Then on Christmas Day, just coincidentally, on Christmas Day, Bridgerton came out and I watched it and I loved it. Christmas Day 2020. Yeah, Christmas Day 2020, Bridgeton came out and I was in love. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to create some boxes of products for Bridgerton, but I had to do Bridgerton inspired because of course it was not, it wasn't like a real Bridgeton partnership and we don't want to get cease and desist letters, right? And so I created these boxes and the press started going crazy over Bridgerton, started Googling Bridgerton and tea, and guess who began to come up in all the Bridgerton searches? So the press started reaching out to me for comments on the show Bridgerton. When I started commenting on the show Bridgerton, other press people, reporters, journalists began to catch on and they wanted to talk to me and interview me as well. And within 30 days of this happening, by January 25th, my company went from probably a couple thousand a month to about 50 to 60,000 a month in 30 days. Like immediately we went from not really a company to a company. Immediately we went from running out of my home to now, like right now, I'm sitting in our warehouse space. This is our lobby area. This is where I do a lot of the photos for social media and for newsletters. And when we have events, people do pictures in front of our flower wall here. It actually says, "Be bougie, drink tea," is what the light says behind me. I went from an idea of a company in my head of what it would look like to really this company that has taken the world by storm. And even from that, we've moved on. And one of the things that I kept saying all 2021 is it would be amazing if I could do a partnership directly with Bridgerton. Like, when is Shonda going to find me? When is Shonda going to find me? And so what I started doing is I literally every day just started thinking to myself, oh, it's going to be so amazing when I have a Bridgerton partnership. It's going to be so amazing. And I wouldn't schedule it in. I wouldn't consciously do it because sometimes we can do things, and I've talked about this before, from a space of desperation. But I didn't do it from that. I was just saying it will be wonderful. It's gonna be amazing. Just like how I've done videos here about waking up and saying, I wonder what amazing is gonna happen to me today. Like, I wonder when Shonda's gonna reach out to me. Like, I'm so excited about having this partnership. I want to remind you, things don't always unfold exactly the way maybe we see them. We're not responsible for the middle. So how I inadvertently ended up with a partnership is because Tangeray Jan, their publicist, found me. And when they started searching teas for a project that they have going on, and they looked up Bridgerton, we were the ones who came up. And because we came up, they reached out to us and we formed a partnership with Tangeray Jan, who already had inked a deal with Bridgerton. And so by default, with our partnership with Tangeray Jan, our products is going in the Bridgerton Tangeray box. That's how we got it. So that's the story. So I want to share with you some key points from that story. And I actually do this with everything. Business is where I tend to focus it. Money is where I tend to focus it. But I've done this in every area of my life, from my relationship with my son, from my relationship with other people, friendships, travel, different opportunities. This is just honestly how I live my life. is I get really clear on what I desire, and I don't look at today's desires, I look at future desires. And I literally ask myself, who is she? And that's difficult a lot of times. And sometimes it takes a moment to get clear on who she is. But I begin to carry myself like her. For example, I don't know if you can see, this is a, pretty cute, nice business, or we can go out in a tight blouse. At home, I like to wear stretch pants and a t-shirt or pajamas and a robe. And I may start out running my business like that, but when I got clear on what a CEO looks like, for me, I began to dress like her. I began to show up as her. I began to have conversations as her. I got a dedicated business phone for LaRue 1680. I started talking to other founders. I changed my profile on social media to say the founder of. I began to literally step into that and be that and think as that. That is how you have to approach everything, is assuming, the law of assumption, assuming that we are that person. And if we are that person, where most people fail with the law of assumption is they simply are like, I'm that person, I'm that person. And that's fine, that's great. But your actions have to match the assumptions. That's where many teachings fail and many people fail, is they say, I assume that I am this person, but the actions they are taking in their life doesn't match that. And so I sat with, who is she? Who is Stephanie Sinclair, the founder? Who is Stephanie Sinclair, who imports products from Europe for the company? Who is Stephanie Sinclair, who creates these amazing blends? Who is Stephanie Sinclair, who has these amazing corporate partnerships? Who is Stephanie Sinclair, who has loyal, devoted fans of LaRue 1680? Who is she? And again, how does she dress? How does she show up? What are the conversations that she has? And I am actively every single day stepping into that future version of me, asking myself what needs to be refined within me to really be her. It's not enough to just say I am. You absolutely have to step into who that person is. So let's take something other than business. Let's say it's for love. Say you really want to be a wife, or you really want to be a husband. Who is she? Who is he? How does he or she carry himself? Is he or she sleeping with a bunch of people, or are they really devoted to this one person? You really have to ask yourself, what does this looking like? Now, nothing's wrong with sleeping with people. I'm not saying that. I'm saying based upon your view of what husband looks like, your view of what wife looks like. How can you embody? My favorite word is embody, actually. I don't know if you can see here. I actually have a tattoo that says embody, right? And it's my favorite word. I got this tattoo in 2015 because I recognized early on that in order to fully be the woman who has the life that I desire, I have to embody her. I have to embody her. So this summer, I am spending the summer in the south of France, between the south of France and my vacation home, or my holiday home in Sicily. And if you had asked me 5 years ago or 10 years ago, I absolutely couldn't see it for myself. But I had to begin to embody the woman who spends her summers, who summers in Europe. I started summering in Europe maybe 5 years ago. That became a thing for me, that my son and I would travel to Europe and have this. But I decided that I wanted to have that fabulous life. And I asked, what does that look like? That looks like, I know I want summers off. That looks like I created a business and a lifestyle where I work particular months so that during the summer I can devote to summering in Europe, living this life. You can, like I say, you can do this for relationships. You can do this for friendships. For friendships has been something I have been focused more so on recently. What are the friendships you desire? My birthday blew me out of the water But also the last couple of years, I have been assuming and sitting with the fact that I have the best friends ever. My friends love me, they support me, and they show up for me. Why was this important? Because I had this story that my friends didn't show up for me. Have I experienced this in my life? Absolutely. Absolutely. After this happened, I was finally able to talk about being 19 years old, having a birthday dinner, and nobody showed up. Not even people I considered my best friend. Nobody showed up except for my mother. I was 19 years old. So from 19 years old to I'm 40 now, I have never had a birthday party. I don't do birthday get-togethers because I just did not believe that anyone showed up for me. I took one thing that happened and made it a rule. And so that one thing happened, I made it a rule, and I started assuming and living my life as if people don't show up for me. So I chose to, a couple years ago, to switch that. Just like one thing happened and I made it a rule for my entire life, I decided, well, one thing could happen and I can make a new rule. And that one thing happened is that friends started showing up for me. And they had been showing up for me, but I was stuck on this rule. So all of a sudden, that's what my life has to look like. So I switched it. No, actually, my friends love me, and they always show up for me, and they always support me. And no, I don't put more into friendships than I get out. And I feel just as supported with them as they do with me. And I started moving as if, and I started showing up for friends and doing things for friends. And look at here, the universe brought it back to me. I was able to, after my 40th birthday, which was February the 6th, sit down and say, oh my God, my friends love me. My friends show up for me, and no longer am I affirming it and assuming it. I see it in my physical, tangible reality. My friends got on planes, they got on the highway, they drove to me, they moved things out of the way so that could be a time that they devoted to me, even though they were tired. Had one other friend, her grandmother had a birthday party the day before my birthday. She did the birthday party, and her grandmother was up from Jamaica, so she had to go to, and it was at her house. She did it and then woke up early in the morning on my birthday to get on a plane so that when I woke up on my birthday, she was there. I literally assume, but not just with the, oh yeah, this is happening, with my actions as well. And again, that is the missing piece that I think so many people are missing. If you want to create everything in your life, from an amazing business, or even if you don't want to be an entrepreneur, you want an amazing career, you want a corner office, you want to run someone else's company, start assuming it is right now, not just with the assumption, but start moving as if. So if you were a person that had this amazing 6-figure corporate job and you were helping someone or a company build, what would your day look like? Do you see yourself maybe after work going to different happy hours? Do you see yourself maybe researching certain things for the company? Start moving like that right now. You cannot simply assume in your imagination. You can, but if you want to speed things up and have them come to you quickly, your actions have to match your assumptions, because the question then becomes, are you really assuming if you are not doing the work? You can't assume a thing if you're not a thing. You're not assuming a thing if you're not embodying that thing. In order to embody it, you have to assume it. And in order to assume it, you have to embody it. And that's how you get everything you want in your life, is to ensure that the thing you desire, that you're taking the actions that match that in the actual physical 3D. And what you'll find is, as you're taking these actions, you actually you embody, you actually step into that person. You actually begin to think like that person easier. You begin to have conversations like that person. Like, who the hell is a Stephanie that summers anywhere? Summers. We used to do weekend vacations or 1 week vacation. So even my language around certain things began to shift and change as I began to assume, embody, and become. Oh, that's a thing. Write that down. We assume it, we embody it, and then we become it. We assume it, embody it, and then we become it. That is actually the order in which it takes to truly manifest everything. Assume it's true, begin to embody it internally, and then your physical, actual actions and then we become it within the 3D. All of a sudden we wake up and we really are using new language, not even on purpose. Like we wake up and all of a sudden our conversations are changing. The words we're using are changing. I'm in a process now. Tomorrow inside of the School of Quantum Living, I actually have a guest coming in that's talking about how to shift your physical appearance in order to embody that next version of you. And that's where I am here at 40, thinking about what is this 40-year-old version of Stephanie? What does she look like? What does she dress like? What does she sound like? It's a lot of ways that I've carried that I don't actually see moving forward for this more refined, I like to call it refined, this more refined version of who I truly desire to be. And it's up to you to decide what is that you want to be? Who is that you want to be? And then again, you assume, you embody, and you become. I hope this was really helpful for you. If so, share the video out. I missed you guys. My future videos will be super short, like 12 minutes or under, because I want you guys to be able to get the content and go. But I've been gone so long, I really wanted to give you an update in this, share enough stories with you so that you can see the examples of what's happening and so you can apply it to your life. Till next time, it is Stephanie Sinclair. I will talk to you later. Toodles.